Welcome to the next session. Session 3 will be about from automation to autonomy, assessing robots, LLMs and LBMs. And our first speaker is Dr. Björn Schäfer. Dr. Schäfer is a senior manager at the Academy for Exponential Change. He started out with decarb, driving sustainability, and works at the intersection of AI, sustainability, also with the goal to boost the competitiveness of Germany's Mittelstand in this area. He is also a lecturer at Free University of Bolzan, and I'm very happy to have you here and look forward to your talk.
Thank you. Actually, I'm quite honored and quite surprised to be here. I was thinking about how to frame this today. Over and over and over again, and over the course of the morning, I was thinking about how to reframe what I'm going to show you today. And I think I just set this as a small impulse, because what I'm going to tell you is not really close to auditing systems, but to using them. We are, at the moment, with Smart Chain, a project with a consortium that's sponsored by the Ministry for Research, Technology and Space. And we started out with a real-life problem. We can make those slides available later on, so feel free to take pictures, etc. At the moment, what is the issue? We have, and I had a long discussion about this with a friend yesterday, we have the issue that small and medium enterprises are complaining about a whole lot of bureaucracy. And today, while I was sitting here and thinking about all the ways in which we need to monitor the way that we use AI, I was thinking how in the world are SMEs, small and medium enterprises, are going to do this? How are they going to deal with these issues? It doesn't matter if you have an omnibus regulation or not. We have this tool we're looking at that it's pretty much was born out of the Lieferketten-Sorgfaltspflichtengesetz. Okay, that's where all of this comes from. That companies started writing what I would call a cover-my-ass letter, okay, also known as the Supplier Code of Conduct, and sent these out to all of their suppliers, being German Mittelstand. Beyond those, we have several other documents that are being sent through the chain, through the supply chain, back and forth, taking up hours and hours and hours of work from, especially in small and medium enterprises, from bottlenecks like the corporate heads. Okay, most of the time, if we talk to a Geschäftsführer, so the owner mostly, this is eating up their time. So, what's the idea? And you'll say, okay, it's another legal AI. To a certain degree, yes. And I'm fine with that, because if we talk about legal AI, and that's something I was thinking about a whole lot today, we see a lot of solutions that are being used in legal firms by professionals, or in the professional sectors by corporate lawyers. We are looking for ways of using LLMs in this case, and a few other steps in between, to help small and medium enterprises to address the issue of how do I deal with documents that I'm not professionally educated to read, evaluate, and by the way, I don't have the time for that. So today, I'm just going to give you a quick idea of what we're doing, and I'm jumping right through it, and rather keep my talk short, but I think that I've seen so many ideas today, and I've seen so many specialists and so many different issues that are relevant, that I just take this as a way of what we're doing out in the field. And we're doing this in the field at the moment. So we have a lot of time that is being used, it doesn't matter, small and medium enterprises and large companies as well, to go through certain documents and check if these are equal to each other. If regulations on human rights, but also on labor laws, on whatever, are in order. For a professional lawyer at a large company, this takes half an hour to go through an SCUC and see is this equal, is this not. For a small and medium enterprise, this is taking an hour, 2, if they really do it rigorously, or they spend 3,000 to 5,000 euros per document on their lawyers, which is a lot of money, which is fun, but I don't see the point in this. So what are we doing? We're taking the idea of okay, let's do a document comparison. Nothing fancy there at the first sight. You would say, okay, that's a wrapper. I can do this with ChatGPT. No, you can't if you want to have results that you can rely on. And if I'm selling this, I have to make sure that we're not bound by hallucinations and we're not stumbling into legal issues there ourselves. But that's one part that we're going to do. Then we are going to, in the second step, we're going to identify differences between the two documents. And then we're going to make active recommendations to both sides, and that's the interesting part, to both sides, how they can fix this. Because usually the way it is, and to put it the way that one of my interview partners said, I don't read those, I sign it and put it away. Okay, and then I asked him about his sleep, and he was like, well, I'm not sleeping quite well if I do this, but I don't have a choice. And so the idea, and we are in our consortium, the largest partner is TÜV-Verband Material Services, so it's a materials trader. They are interested in this tool because it helps them to bridge problems, to bridge those evaluations and say, okay, I have a proposal by the system saying this could be fixing your solution. This takes out one loop of negotiation. This takes out an hour of work, 2 emails, 2 phone calls, whatever, and that's the really interesting part. So that's the part where while we're looking at the gaps on the one side, we're looking at the close, sorry, overused word, the close agent, quite closely to see how it's going to fix this thing. Then there are certain other issues that we can address with this. This is more the sales pitch. Okay, we can do versioning, meaning if TÜV-Verband updates their supplier code of conduct, they don't need to write to 7,500 suppliers, but only to those who are affected. And as you can guess, this takes a whole lot of time of the hands of the different companies. So, dashboard overviews. This is more the M&E perspective, the multinational perspective. We need this we need to have the multinationals on board to buy our product and to make it sustainable in the marketplace. There are more than enough legal AIs out there that a multinational can buy. I can write you a list of about 20, 25 from the back of my head that would be able to do that, so I need both sides. It's a platform. Another word that's overused, but it's the platform. All right, I'll quickly jump through it. And actually, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this live, because every time I do this live, I screw up. And this time I just go tick, 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 tick. That's the way we're working on at the moment. And we're into the project. We started the project in February of this year. Okay, so you can upload your SUC. That's pretty much your SUC is already back there. You can upload your partner's SUC, and the partner SUC will be shown to me. Why is it necessary to show? Because now we're talking about human in the loop, and you would start laughing about automation. Instead of code of conducts, people send you all kind of stuff. Annual reports, etc. I can, to a certain degree, try to figure out which kind of document this is, and the LLM could tell me it's the right document, it's the wrong document. But honestly, going through inference with through entire annual report doesn't really help me. Okay, it may give me a false positive, actually. And we've seen stuff like this before. And it doesn't help me. I need to have these 2 documents to compare them, to see, and in this case, left-hand side, TK Material Service, right-hand side, SGL Carbon, just quickly giving me an overview. This is the professional view. And now you start laughing. It's like it's an easy-peasy tool. Yes, it's an easy-peasy tool, correct. If you want to bear the liabilities, if you screw up here, and if you screw up in NDAs or in other documents, please feel free, but the liabilities are, to a certain degree, really high, okay, if I screw up here. And now, this is for a lawyer, this is perfect. This gives them a lot of time. I'll give you some quotes in a few seconds, how they see it. But for an SME, it's going to look like this. Okay, they can jump from the table into the view, and what you can't see at the moment, that one is off. On the top, it's going to give you a remark, and this is where the gap agent will switch to the close agent, and where we get the recommendations how to fix it. And we do it step by step by step by step, so that the SMEs can go through it. Okay. And I can comment on it, send it to my lawyer, tell my lawyer, please check this paraphrase and this paraphrase only, because I'm only interested in this. I can give it to my specialist, whomever, or I can write a proposal. The proposal would be, okay, this is the amendment to the contract at that point in time. And this is exactly what we're doing, okay? We say, okay, this is how we would like to amend our agreement so we can sign, both sides can sign this and make life easier. This usually takes 2 hours on each side, and it takes several iterations usually. And in the end, I could sign it with DocuSign, whatever. It's just the, that's the stuff you need to do. Now, why do I show this to you? Because from my perspective, and I've seen a lot of things today, and they make me think a lot, but this is the reality. People are happy about those easy peasy solutions, non-high risks. These are internal quotes from the compliance areas of TK. Okay, we talk about material systems, we talk about marine systems, we talk services, marine systems, we talk about the overall corporate level. And you can see the speed with which they're increasing. This is a solution that's picking up tremendously. And actually, this is just the multinational side. The SMEs I'm getting from interviews at the moment are really interesting, and that's the interesting part that I thought today. How many small and medium enterprises are asking for the test version, which will be available from January on for the basic version, and they can use for free until we're out of our funding, which will be another 2 years. This is going to be quite interesting, and I'm thinking the MNEs, the small and medium enterprises are longing for those easy solutions. But I don't know how we're going to play this with the AI Act, what this is going to mean for us, for how much burden do I lie on a small and medium enterprise. We're trying to take it away. So the question is, where's the balance in this? We need to find a balance between what can a small and medium enterprise do and what can't they do. And really, if you talk to them, and we're in the area where we cut metal most of the times, the people are highly intelligent, but they're at the end of their capacity. And that's what we're trying to do here. I told you I'm running out of time, by the way, and I'll be quick about this. And this is the point we are having the Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt with a brilliant mind, Sapri Chata, who's doing the AI backend, who is, as you can see, looking at the formatting cues. We're going through those documents very, very rigorously. We're not just throwing it. We're not a thin wrapper. We don't throw this into GPT and tell them, please show me the difference. We could, but it doesn't work that way. We go all the way down to formalization of rules, deontic logics, which is the research area here. If you have questions on that, I really need to rely on Sapri to help me with it. Anyways, we are not that naive that we think that we can't do it without this, because we are going to need something in the background. We already talked about ground truth today. We talked about working against hallucinations with racks, etc. But we are going to need this in a graph database most likely, because we need to be able to refer to European laws, to German laws, and see how certain regulations, how certain regulatory documents and references will work. Because only this will help us that the MNEs do understand what they're signing. And at this point in time, sometimes they simply don't. What are we doing in the end? We're trying to extract the knowledge from our specialists, from our professionals. We have a lot of lawyers in the system, and that's the idea of how to increase the way that it's work, or ensure the way it's working correctly. We are drawing expertise from our lawyers to monitor the process and to model the process exactly, and try to take their takes on how they would tackle certain document types, which is really complicated because, I don't know, 3 lawyers, 4 different opinions, you know that sentence. But doing this is exactly what we're trying to do at the moment, to monitor for that. That's just the gap. We're going to hit the close agent in a few weeks. We're adding document types. I can't really do a single interview before being asked, when do you have NDAs available? No lo so. We will see. And we're adding, once again, we started in February. And what I see is a pragmatic need out there, a pragmatic need by the small and medium enterprises for help. So whatever we're doing here, whatever we're talking about, and there's not a single thing I wouldn't agree with today. I heard so many great inputs. All of them are perfect to the spot. But we need to understand, how does this interact with our small and medium companies? And that's exactly a message that I would from my perspective, like to bring over here today, because they are not the experts that are sitting here. All right, forget it, it's a sales picture, and then here we go. Thank you. No, but I can relay the question otherwise.
Okay. So who within the supply chain does need your service or your software? Is it just one part or all of the?
We design it as a platform so that both sides can use it, but you can also, as an SME, just throw in your own supplier code of conduct and your supply chain partners' documents. Okay, it's really thought that you don't need both sides. I would prefer to have both sides, because then we can even use the effects where we can go and match your, for example, your sales to your procurement department, which is going to be more interesting. And I could even see if there's a problem through your supply chain, which we won't be able to do due to legal reasons, but in theory we could. But you don't need to. We need to have it as a standalone version that you can use it as an SME on your own. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. We want to have as much network effect as possible. Surprise, but we don't need it.
Okay. And maybe how is your liability, or are you within the chain of liability there?
That's something that our experts are definitely working at the moment. As long as we are in the setup as a project, the question is rather who is liable, because who is hosting the solution at the moment. And this is TK Material Services. Their lawyers are at that topic at the moment and how to do it. And actually, we even thought about an AI lab for that, but that's just taking away time. To be quite honest, it's a construct that I like, but it's taking away time, and we don't have the time.
Thank you very much for the whole talk. So let's thank the speaker again.